'Cause The View is live. Siding with Saudis. The president stands by the Saudi royal family, despite growing evidence that links the prince to the death of Jamal Khashoggi. Is he letting them get away with murder? Plus, superstar Michael B. Jordan talks about climbing back in the ring for Creed 2. And Kristen Chenoweth reveals how she's joining forces with Whoopi. Here come Hump Day Hot Topics with Whoopi, Abby Huntsman, Joy Behar, Sunny Hostin, and Meghan McCain. Now, let's get things started.
The day before Thanksgiving, we figured we'd celebrate a little early with some appetizers. And these are very appetizing appetizers.
Smells good in here.
It does.
Sorry,
is there
guys,
a list of what's on the table? Or am I telling anybody what's here?
Website?
All right, well, there's stuff on the table. It looks good. Now, we're going to do what probably most people are going to be doing around this time tomorrow. We'll talk about a couple of hot topics, like the guy in the White House is taking a lot of heat for defending the Saudi royal family, despite growing evidence that links the prince to the death of Jamal Khashoggi. Here's what he said about it.
It's America first. Saudi Arabia, if we broke with them, I think your oil prices would go through the roof. I've kept them down. They've helped me keep them down. They didn't make a determination. And it's just like I said. I think it was maybe he did, maybe he didn't. They did not make that assessment. The CIA has looked at it. They've studied it a lot. They have nothing definitive.
So this morning he tweeted, "Thank you, Saudi Arabia, for lowering oil prices." He said it's about America first. But is it?
Well, you know, I looked it up. Canada provides 40% of oil, Saudi Arabia 9%, and yet he's so nasty to Canada. Justin Trudeau didn't kill anybody, and he's mean to Canada and nice to the Saudis. So what can we make of that? There's another reason. We don't know what it is. Maybe it has to do with the fact that they bailed him out of bankruptcy at one time. Maybe it's the fact that they bought the entire floor at Trump Tower one time. All these little things that have to do with his pocketbook and not ours.
Exactly. And you know, I think it's all public record. And as Americans, we really need to educate ourselves, because we really do need a full accounting of where his money comes from, because the emoluments clause is very clear. The president should never put his personal wealth before American lives, America in general, and the American interest. And it just seems to me, like you just said, Joy, when you look at his, you know, he's bragged about his financial relationship with Saudi Arabia. I think we have a clip of something he said at an Alabama campaign rally. Do we have
Saudi Arabia, and I get along great with all of them. They buy apartments from me. They spend $40 million, $50 million. Am I supposed to dislike them? I like them very much.
See, and in 1986, Osama bin Laden's brother, Shafia bin Laden, lived in Trump Tower. We also know that since 2016, Saudi bookings at his Chicago hotels have gone up 169%, a similar uptick in Saudi bookings in New York. So what we have to ask ourselves, I think, as Americans is, if the Saudis are intentionally lining his pockets, what do they expect in return? That is the question. And perhaps they expect to get a pass on the killing of Jamal Khashoggi.
Right. There have been a couple of statements made by a couple of Republicans
against the president.
Against the president. One of them being Lindsey Graham.
Lindsey Graham, Marco Rubio, Rand Paul.
Right. Do you have what they said, baby?
Many things. I mean, Rand Paul, who it's a cold day in hell when I agree with him, said the president indicates that Saudi Arabia is the lesser two evils compared to Iran, so the U.S. won't punish Saudi Arabia for the brutal killing and dismemberment of a dissident journalist in their consulate. I disagree. Listen, I knew we were going to come out here on the show today and have a beautiful Thanksgiving spread. Thanksgiving is tomorrow. Jamal Khashoggi was cut up into little pieces and brutally murdered for being a dissident journalist. His family are Americans here in this country. There's a tectonic shift happening in our country right now where human rights violations, we're okaying them. We don't have the same response that we once did. And I think it's the reason why the Magnitsky Act continues to be so important. And it's worth noting that 17 Saudi nationals on Thursday were sanctioned because of the Magnitsky Act and their connection to this killing. I believe in America where we are a beacon, as Ronald Reagan said, a shining beacon on top of a hill and a city upon a hill. And I just don't know where we are as a country where you can slaughter a journalist, and we're going to bat an eye. We're going to say there will be no ramifications for this, and it sends a message globally that you can brutally murder journalists, and it's okay, and our president won't listen to the audio because it's too intense to hear, and it's a really
sad day in America.
I don't know what's happening, and I don't mean to make this about my father, but things were very different when he was around, and I feel very unsafe, and that we're shifting in a way that is very dangerous, and it's not the America I grew up in, it's not the America I want.
There is no Republican to take the place of John McCain.
It's not just him, though. Some of these people should step up.
I mean, the other day we were talking about the Navy SEAL McRaven, who captured bin Laden, and Trump dissed him.
Yes.
Yeah. He helped capture bin Laden, and Donald Trump basically dissed him and said, well, they should have captured him sooner.
Well, bin Laden's brother is living at Trump Tower. Of course he's going to say something like that. It's about personal fight.
But the GOP put out a statement saying, well, you know, this guy, McRaven, did back Hillary, thus saying that they are backing Donald Trump in that statement. What the hell is going on with the GOP that they would say something like that against a Navy SEAL hero in this country? That's what I want to know. The Republican Party.
Going back to the clip that we played in the intro, his response to reporters saying that he cares about America first. There's nothing America first about throwing your intelligence community under the bus. Ever. And we have seen this time and time again. And these are moments where a president either rises as a true leader or you fail miserably. And I think he's failed miserably on this because these are the two of the most important issues that we hold so dear to us as Americans. As Megan mentioned, human rights, but also freedom of speech. And if we don't stand for that, if we don't stand strongly for that, what are we as a country? What do we stand for? So a State Department official who has seen the version of the CIA's assessment of what they found said it is, quote, blindly obvious that the Crown Prince not only knew about it, but ordered the murder of this journalist. And the president saying he's not even sure if the Crown Prince even knows.
We should also say Marco Rubio made a great point that human rights violations lead to mass migration, help extremism flourish, and often result in new governments' hostility towards the United States because we support their oppressors. So when we support oppression, when we support murderous dictatorships, when we're supposed to be a beacon of freedom globally, again, it's a tectonic shift of what it means to be Americans, and it's very depressing to tell you all this the day before Thanksgiving.
Well, but you know what it will do? I hope that it will remind people what our freedoms are about so that we can give thanks for how free we are, and we can still protest and scream out loud when we see things that are wrong, because nobody needs to take this. Nobody needs to be quiet about this. If this happens here, it's going to happen over here, and pretty soon it's going to be happening right there. So we owe it to ourselves as Americans to remember what Thanksgiving means and why we give thanks. And I know you're going to say, okay, well, please, I know you have a break. Yes, we're taking a break. We'll be back.
Later, bit of joy. Why did Behar bail on her latest plan to keep the pounds off over the holidays? This November.
Baby!
That's how I roll, okay?
You know this is the place to be heard. And the stars are coming out to voice their views. Michael B. Jordan, Kristen Chenoweth, Sean Hayes, and don't forget about Bernie. Sanders, that is. And you know he'll have a lot to say. And here comes Queer Eye's Fab Five. Oh yes, It's a must-see view all month long.
There you go.
Right here on ABC.
I was on the fence.
Wickedly talented Kristen Chenoweth.
You know what? We were going to talk about him again, and I was like, come on, we don't want to do that anymore. Okay, we're done with them. We're giving thanks for y'all. Y'all wanted to know what was on the table. There's baked brie with pecans, cornbread bites, Chesapeake crab cakes, figs with bacon, butternut squash, croissantine. Christini, somebody.
I think I went out with him, Frankie Christini.
I went out with him too. My God.
You married him.
I did. And that's why I'm here working my behind off. We got a beet.
It looks delicious.
We have a beef and goat cheese mini phyllo tartlet.
That's good.
That one.
We have a turkey and pork meatballs, little tiny meatballs with cranberry sauce, and chicken caprese skewers. That's what's on this table.
That's this thing. It's really a piece of chicken.
Well, so grab, and I'll tell you what folks are talking about. 'Cause if you still need some ideas for your Thanksgiving dinner, you want to know about these, go to the website. But here's what I really want to say. Mass quantities will be consumed tomorrow, and the Orlando Sentinel gave a guide on working off your Thanksgiving feast. For example, a 2.5-mile walk will work off 4 ounces of turkey. That's never going to happen.
Miles?
Yeah.
And then, which comes in at 190 calories. Are you planning to get some extra exercise? Because I know here there was some exercising going on yesterday.
We try.
Well, you have to explain to people what happened.
By the way, you know, I feel comfortable eating right now because I worked my butt off yesterday at a dance class that someone who shall remain nameless organized, found the dance instructor, and then what happened, Joy?
Tell them you're doing very well.
We're all sweating and we're doing dance routines. We're doing this. And I turn to my right and someone has left the class.
I put in 10 minutes.
It was your idea, too.
It was my idea.
45-minute class.
I hate exercise with a passion. So does Megan. I know she hates it. I don't think Whoopi's in love with exercise.
I don't. I just like to walk. I don't do classes because of that very reason. Like you do yoga, I can't even touch my toes. People are in pretzels. It's awful.
She's very limber.
I'm limber, but so what?
But I heard you were not even the worst in the class yesterday.
Listen,
oh, no, that's Limburger.
I took this class because I figured music will make me move.
Yeah.
I didn't expect to have to do a Bob Fosse dance routine. I'm not Beyonce. They got the wrong bay over here. Okay? And all of a sudden, in 10 minutes, I'm supposed to learn like a whole routine to dance.
It was complicated.
They did a good job. A lot of the kids who work here did very good. I was watching them from behind while I stood there. And they were doing a very good job. But I can't do it. All I want is some music and then
But
dance.
you organized the class.
So what? You know, one of the good things about getting older, you don't do what you don't want to do. I don't do anything I don't want to do. So I just walk right out.
You walk right out. But the thing is, it's like she had the first couple of steps, like the grapevine step you got.
Was easy.
You got the pivot step, and then all of a sudden, she just broke out.
All of a sudden,
she just left.
it's Saturday Night Fever. Boom, boom, boom.
You were not the worst in the class.
No, I know.
That's what I heard. I bumped into you when you were running out of the class.
Really?
Yeah, you saw me yesterday. And I
was
said,
not
Joy,
paying
you're
attention.
supposed to be in dance class. And she said, I'm never going back to that thing. I'm never going back.
Maybe if you go, I'll go again.
That's never going to happen.
I know.
man.
Good. That's why I said that.
You know,
She'll be fine, girl.
you know, listen. I say,
I didn't go
eat
either.
what you
You
know.
didn't
You
go.
didn't go. I mean, look, eat what you're going to eat. Okay, it is a holiday. You're entitled. If you're thinking about thinning up, then you shouldn't be sitting in front of all that food. So stay home, right? If you're not going to enjoy what you're doing, don't go. There's no point in bringing everybody down. We'll be right back. Megan,
Okay, so I was FaceTiming with my little brother Jimmy yesterday, which I'm happy he's becoming a part of the show, by the way.
Oh,
and he is in the Army National Guard, and I just he reminded me we should thank and say thank you to all the soldiers who are in Afghanistan, specifically the Arizona Guard. Here's to the Bushmasters and all the soldiers who can't be with their families tomorrow. Give thanks for what the sacrifice that they're giving us.
Yeah. And all the guys on the border.
Yes, and on the border
and all the,
globally everywhere.
Everybody who's deployed all over the world. We have folks all over the world. And so, thanks, y'all.
With their families.
Thanks, y'all. We're
Afghanistan,
appreciative.
Right? No, this one's in Arizona.
Yeah.
Arizona.
And he is very excited to talk about the View on FaceTime, and I'm talking about it more on the show.
Well, you know, I don't know if this is something that y'all will be indulging in, but a lot of couples who be staying with relatives over Thanksgiving. So brides.com posted a guide to having sex in your in-laws' house. They're saying that you need a nap after the trip and make sure you lock the door.
What do you do with all the coats on the bed? There's always a million coats, right?
I haven't had an in-law in so long. I have no idea. Are you not? If you're married, you're not allowed to.
Maybe it's like future in-laws. Maybe like your future in-laws.
No,
like
I think they were talking about people who are married.
I think it's always, this is so awkward because my mother-in-law's watching and she just texted me, so, hello, Deidre. I love you to death, but...
Deidre, they're going to do it in the bedroom.
No, but they had a rule before we got married. We had to sleep in separate bedrooms.
Right.
And so it's, you know, it's...
And you did.
And we did, but it's uncomfortable. Another advice they give is don't get too acrobatic. Because you don't want it too noisy, I guess. So lock the door.
There's no possibility for me in that one. Limber though I am.
You are limber.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's because people feel that they like to have sex when it's dangerous. Let's face it. So
but what's the danger? They know you're married.
Well, if you're not or you are,
like,
you don't want to get caught. You don't want to get caught.
For me, it would be more if you're not married.
Sonny, I remember you saying you have sex all over your house with Manny.
Yes, I do.
Yes. I do. I remember her saying, because I was like, well done.
Yes.
Like, what,
Yeah.
you know. So this may not be weird.
We try to christen all the rooms.
But so when you...
20 years, you got to keep it...
Have your kids ever walked in on you?
Lively. No, thank God. I would die.
Well, that's the point. You don't want anybody to catch you.
Oh, my God.
That's happened in our family. It's horrific.
It's happened in your family?
It's horrific, yeah.
That's like my worst nightmare, something like that.
Yeah.
You know what my worst nightmare is?
What is it?
This conversation. We'll be right back.
Thank you for letting me.
Hey, it's Michael B. Jordan. I want to wish everybody an early Thanksgiving. Make sure you eat as much as you can. I'm getting ready to go talk to the ladies. You'll see in a second.
Heard about you, Krista, from mild to moderate.
Hey now. It's the day before Thanksgiving, and we're giving great thanks for Michael B. Jordan. He showed the world how good he is at being bad in the biggest superhero movie of all time, Black Panther. And now audiences can't wait to cheer him on in the highly anticipated sequel to Creed, Creed 2. Please welcome the amazing, the fabulous, and one of the nicest men on the planet, Michael B. Jordan.
love is crazy.
I want to point out a young lady over there.
Gosh.
Can you move out the way? See the young lady with the stuff right there?
How you doing, young lady?
In the red, right there. The smile on her face. You walk out.
Right here?
Right in the middle. That's it.
You're going to start a riot here. I mean, everyone is so... Ma'am, you're... good luck.
I've never seen the audience like this.
I know.
Unbelievable, but happy Thanksgiving to you.
Happy
One day
Thanksgiving
early.
to you
We're all
guys, too.
celebrating. I want to know what the tradition is in the Jordan family and what everyone's got an eating strategy. What is your eating strategy?
Eating strategy. All right, for me, I just get one big plate and I just kind of pile everything on.
Yes.
And I don't like making multiple trips. I just take one big pile back to the couch and I just eat until I'm into like a deep coma-like sleep. And I just pass out and I end up waking up in the third quarter of the football game and I end up watching the rest of the game. So, football and food.
Well, we have to talk about the midterms, which
do
were
it.
2 weeks ago, and we're still talking about it, obviously. Before the elections, you went knocking on doors of black families in Atlanta to remind them how important their votes would be, which I thought was such an incredible thing to do. People were like losing their minds.
Yeah.
People were losing their minds.
She's doing the Wakanda. Like, open the door.
I get welcomed with that a lot.
It was amazing. So what made it important for you to do that?
I mean, honestly, you know, I think we keep saying that this is the most important year every year. This is the most important year. This is the most important year. I think things have been progressively getting, you know, a little worse. So this year is definitely the most important year thus far for voting. And I thought it was really important to get out there and, you know, let people know that their vote does matter, that their voice can make a change. You just need to get out there and actually exercise that right to vote, that our ancestors had struggled and sacrificed so much to give us that ability. So I think,
Did you tell them that when you knocked on their door?
I tried to ease my way into that part of the conversation. But no, I just wanted to give them encouragement because the people that we were speaking with were local leaders of their communities that was getting other kids in the community out to the polls. And I just wanted to go out and thank those people for doing such a great job in their community and, backing Stacey Abrams and stuff like that. So it was really important to me.
There's a lot of talk about inclusion in Hollywood, or lack of inclusion. But someone told me that you are basically taking the situation into your own hands. What are you doing about it?
I mean, I like to walk the walk. Talking is cool, but I just like to lead by example. I helped with Warner Brothers write their inclusion policy for the studio. And Just Mercy, this movie I just got finished doing about Bryan Stevenson, is the first film under that policy, and it's pretty much a first step to open up the doors and set a precedent for other studios to follow that lead.
What does it mean
exactly? It just basically means that you're going to that you're mandatory in each department head to see a person of color, a woman, somebody from the LGBT community, that they have to be in heavily consideration for that.
That's great.
Yeah, and Warner Brothers stepping up and doing that is a huge step. You know, it's a major. So salute to Warner Brothers and their entire company.
Yes.
You Warner Brothers.
Yeah.
Yes. So your name is absolutely everywhere, clearly from the audience reaction. You're getting Oscar buzz for Killmonger. It's very exciting.
Yeah.
And you're back as Adonis Creed in Creed 2.
Yes, ma'am.
The first one was an origin story. What can fans expect from the second one?
I think the second time around, honestly, it was an honor to kind of rebuild on these characters and these relationships that we set up in the first one. A little bit of a revenge story. I know at first with the Dragos that come back into play. Obviously, that's a sore spot for Adonis and his father, the way he died. So much more of a love story, though. I wanted to challenge Adonis with fatherhood.
Yeah.
With getting a fiance, with all the obstacles that come with family and relationship. We just wanted to see Adonis mature over the years, and over the course of the film, we see that. So you got some action, you got some love. It'll make you relax.
Good. I saw it yesterday.
Sylvester Stallone, a.k.a. Rocky, is back in your corner. I love him, but things aren't always simple, and we have a clip.
Say I'm not going to be here forever.
And what's that supposed to mean?
That means you got to do some smart thinking.
Oh, you want to talk about smart decisions, Rock? You in this house all alone. Who been taking care of you? Me. I've been here for you. Who else you got? Listen, I'm taking this fight with or without you. Some good old drama.
Can I say something about the Rocky franchise?
What's up?
You might not care about this, but when my dad got sick, I said over and over again, and it's from Rocky, it's not how hard you get hit, it's how hard you can get hit and then keep moving forward.
Yeah.
And I say that almost every morning, and I love those movies.
No, I definitely care about that. What do you mean I don't care about that? No, that's the power of these films with Rocky and now Creed and Adonis is, you know, it's the motivation. It's that inspiring underdog kind of feeling of you know, what's your limits? Overcome whatever challenges that are in front of you, and that's what I want people to feel when they see these movies, to be inspired. It was a lot of fun. Yeah, it was. Wait, my friend Cecile. Where's Cecile at? Cecile here? Where is Cecile? Oh, there she go. That's my auntie. I'm sorry, I gotta say. She's here. I love her. She's in the crowd. She thought she was gonna be here with her group of mothers. So they do a collective group, you know, and they go out and do certain things. And this is a trip, for her. So I just want to put her on blast real quick.
I gotta ask before I let you go, are you still singing? You're good at so many things, but singing is not one of them yet. You love to do it. We played a video last time you were here of you belting, and there's a new video I think we have. Watch this.
I catch moments.
I would never find another love sweeter than you. I cherish every hug.
That's a hard song.
I usually hit those notes.
Yeah, that's
you know.
a tough song.
I'm camera shy in the shower. I hit all the notes.
Listen, man, you know, you are always welcome at this table. I've been a friend of The View for a long time. And we're just really so proud of you because, you know, as a little kid, you did, you know.
You guys literally watched me grow up, and you guys have helped me grow up, you know, and I really just appreciate you guys for being a home and a place to have these conversations and inspire people.
But we're all coming to your house at Thanksgiving.
Come. But no, seriously, I just want to thank you guys for what you guys do. It's really important, and you know, I don't think it's appreciated enough. So thank you guys for doing that.
Our thanks to Michael B. Jordan. You gotta go see Creed 2, okay? It's in theaters today.
I can't wait.
Go and see Creed 2. Not playing with y'all. Not playing with you. We'll be right back.
So good.
Hi, everybody. It's Kristen. Happy Thanksgiving. I'm coming up on The View.
It's all about popular. It's not about aptitude. It's the way you're viewed. So it's very sure to be very, very popular. Like me, wind machine. Wind machine. Cutbacks, even in Oz.
That was the fabulous Kristen Chenoweth blowing the roof off the joint to celebrate the 15th anniversary of the Broadway smash hit Wicked. I am still amazed that she is able to pack so much talent. She's this big.
Her little self.
You know, you can just put her in the pocketbook and take her wherever you want to. Please welcome one of the greats of all time, Miss Kristen Chenoweth. You are too much.
I love you so.
I love you too. It's so good to see you.
You too, and they got a pillow for me so I can see over this table.
How tall are you exactly?
I'm 4'11".
Oh, that's not so bad.
And I'm going to heaven, and it makes me feel 10 feet tall. Yeah.
Well, I am a huge super fan, as I told you backstage, and I went to the 15th anniversary. If anyone saw it, fantastic. The 15 years of Wicked.
I can't believe it there.
Oh, it was, and I wasn't even the biggest fangirl. I mean, people dressed up for this. It was a huge moment with you and Idina Menzel. I want to know, when was the moment you realized that your role would become so iconic?
Opening night in San Francisco. We opened in San Francisco, and I went, this show, not only are these roles going to hit, because it was Me Too, before Me Too, right? And I knew it. And I said, where do I sign for 10 years on the dotted line? I was thinking about the advance. I already knew. And then we opened on Broadway, but I knew. And you know, Wicked wasn't received critically as great as it should have been. But it didn't matter.
I see that you're fully dressed, but you forgot something today. What was it?
I knew someone was going to tell you, Joy. I forgot my panties.
She forgot her underwear.
Yes,
I heard it in the hallway. The producers were on their microphone saying, Kristen forgot her underpants.
Well, I put on my dress. I was like, seems awfully breezy down there. Anyway,
natural air conditioning.
That's right. That's right.
As long as it comes in a package, I'm happy.
So you made your grand entrance in some kind of flying bubble thing.
Yeah,
right? Weren't you scared? I mean, it's high up like that. That makes me nervous.
I was kind of nervous. We passed, when I went up, I had to go up at 5 minutes to 8. And we passed all the crew, you know, that are in the wings. I'm like, bye, bye, bye. And then, yeah, it was a little nervous, but I was harnessed in so
I know,
tight.
but that string could break, couldn't it?
Well, it was wire.
Whatever it is.
And knowing me, it could have. But I did have a bad neck injury during it.
Oh.
I remember thinking, oh no, the doctor had given me some medication, yeah, and should have told me taking a little bit less than my own body weight. So this is a note for y'all. I came out of that bowl, I was like, oh. I'm so happy. The Wicked Witch of the West is dead. I mean, I could hardly talk, but anyway.
Were you on that same medication today when you forgot your drawers? Huh?
We've been friends a long time, so we're silly. So listen, you know, together we've been working on this Thanksgiving Day special. It's called I'm Coming Home. And we sent you back home to Oklahoma where you surprised your old high school drill team. And they had a surprise for you, too, as it turns out. Shall we look at the clip?
Let's do.
Clip.
Okay, so can I see?
Yes! We'll perform for you. I don't know. Before you do that, wait, we have one.
Kristen, I think there's somebody you want to see. This
You doing okay? I'm happy to see you.
I'm so happy to see you.
What? That's what I want to know. Yeah. What was it like? Because it's really something when you go back to where you grew up. I mean, what was the biggest shock for you?
That I thought I was a lot taller than I was. Everything was so small. But also just like that teacher. I didn't realize she was going to be there. And she just instilled in me to be on time, to be professional, but she also was positive role model. You did good, Kristen. And I see that they're still doing it.
Yeah.
And it made me really proud.
Yeah.
I was so proud of it.
She believed in you.
She did. She believed in me, and she believed in all us girls. And I just also want to say that when you go home, if you haven't gone home, you should go home. Because it becomes about a bigger deal. You know. Yeah. It becomes about a bigger deal than yourself. Anyway.
Well, you know, you grew up with the arts. Am I right?
Well, I did. I grew up in Broken Arrow, Oklahoma. There wasn't very many arts, but what there was, I did it.
You absorbed whatever you could.
Yes.
And now I understand that you're paying it back. What are you doing?
About 10 years ago, they opened the Performing Arts Center of Broken Arrow and named the theater the Kristen Chenoweth Theater. And I thought, well, I'm not old enough to have that. And they said, no, you are.
But you're famous enough.
Thank you. I had a heart attack. I was like, no, not yet. But what are you going to do with that when you see your name on there, you know, your dad's name, your granddad's name, and your family name? And I thought, I'm going to start a Broadway boot camp. So this year will be your 5 people audition. Last year we had over 1,000 kids. Well, I can only pick 40. I bring in all my famous friends to teach. You've been a part of it. You guys are unsafe. Both of you right here. And we do 7-day intensive singing, acting, dancing, and then we put on a show at the end. And I've got some future Tony Award winners and Grammy winners in this group.
That's really good.
That's really powerful.
I'm really proud of it.
Speaking of hometowns, as you said, it's such a comfort to go home.
Yeah.
You are going to my hometown very soon to Salt Lake City, Utah. You're going to be performing with the Tabernacle, which is, if you don't know, it's a huge deal. You know the Tabernacle.
Yeah,
and it is the biggest event of the year.
I'm excited because growing up, you know, in Oklahoma, we didn't have Broadway. We just didn't have that stuff.
Yeah.
So I watch the Tabernacle Christmas special every year. And though, you know, we don't agree on everything the same, I think it's important for me, as a musician, to get to make music with people that I have felt had made beautiful music most of my life.
Yeah.
So I get to do it.
Yeah.
I'm
Big
excited.
deal.
I have a dog, Bernie.
Oh, I know. I know Bernie.
He's on Instagram.
I know.
At Bernie Behar, for those of you who want to check him out. He has about 30,000 followers already, this dog.
I know.
I mean, it's an embarrassment because I don't have that many. And I understand that you have a dog also. What's your dog?
My dog is Thunder, and she's rapidly coming close to 30,000 followers.
Well, how come yours has a sock line and mine doesn't?
I don't know, Joy, get on
You
it.
have a sock line for this dog,
This
right?
is his socks came out yesterday.
Oh, my gosh.
And, you know, I think they're great stocking stuffers, but, I mean, I'm like a mom. You know, I think my kid's the cutest. I love Bernie, but I love Thunder.
Yeah, they're both cute.
They
I must
are.
say. That's a very cute dog.
I rescued her
Yeah.
2 years ago, and she just changed my life.
Yeah.
I love her.
Rescues are great.
You know what?
Rescue me.
Rescue me! And you know what? I was adopted. Some would say that I was rescued.
You're a rescue also.
That's right.
That's why
I forgot.
Yeah,
So it comes full circle.
exactly. And that's what that coming home special really did for me.
That's beautiful.
It was awesome.
Love
Thank
it.
y'all for having me.
Thanks for
We
coming.
love you. Come back.
Thank you to Kristen Chenoweth. You can catch our Thanksgiving special, I'm Coming Home, tomorrow at 10 p.m. right here on ABC. We'll be right back.